So very good morning, welcome back to another video, and today I kind of need you to pray for me a little bit. You see, we've come onto the North Yorkshire Moors and it's snowing quite a lot, and I am parked on what is essentially a field. You know, what could possibly go wrong? So as I was saying a little bit earlier on, we are currently on the North Yorkshire Moors outside of the beautiful village of Gothland. Today we've come to take a photograph of a waterfall and we're using a new toy. A couple of weeks ago I picked up an Olympus EM-5 Mark and I kind of fell in love with it, and I fell in love with the whole micro four thirds thing. So we got his bigger brother. So this is an EM-5 Mark with the kit lens on front. This is the 14-42 f3.5 to 5.6, and I kind of figured we'd just come to the moors, take a picture of a waterfall, put this camera through its paces and just see how it turns out. Wasn't expecting snow, I wasn't expecting sub-zero temperatures. Let's get stuck in, go find the waterfall and see how long it takes before I, well, have enough, throw a pissy fit and go back to the car. Let's crack on. So here we are. This is Nelly Foss. There's a few waterfalls in the area, but this is probably one of the lesser known ones. Last time I was here in the summertime, there was barely any water going over it. Today, the beck is in full flow, loads of water going over it. We should be able to make some great long exposure photographs. The problem I've got now is I was hoping to be able to get to the other side of the beck, but the water level is that high, I'm kind of going to be stuck on this ledge area. So we're really going to have to sort of think these photographs through and just see if we can't get one or two slightly different angles, slightly different looking photographs. So I'm going to get the camera out, figure out some settings, figure out what filters we're going to throw on and get stuck in, take some photographs. The Olympus EM-5 Mark from Nelly Foss. Alright, so the composition I've got set up, it's all sort of dialed in and fine-tuned as best as I can get it. It's a little bit tricky because I am really just limited to standing on this ledge like I said earlier on. The lens on the front of this camera at the wide end is 14mm on micro four thirds, which gives a full frame equivalent of 28mm. So we are fairly punched in. I've looked at some camera settings here and I think we're going to go for the 6-stop ND filter to start off with. And if that's a little bit too much, we'll just dial that back and put the 3-stop filter on. So I'm going to throw the filter on and we'll start taking this first photograph, but the snow is really coming down right now. Alright, so we're good to go. So we've got a polarising filter on, just taking the glare off of the water and the rocks. There's a really strong sheen on the water, so I'll put that on just to make the water a little bit darker, a little bit blacker, take all the glare off. And as I said, we've got the 3-stop filter on. That's giving me 1.3 seconds at f11 and ISO 200. So using a 2-second timer. I'm clipping a little bit of the sky, but I'm not too bothered about that. The sky is essentially white anyway because of the snow. That's not too much of a problem. Here's the first photograph. I'm going to put the cameras away in the bag, get them out of the snow, get things dried up a little bit and see if we can't find the second one. Alright, so as you can see, the snow is really starting to tip down and I'm kind of stuck on a tiny little ledge here and I don't really like it. It's a bit slippy, it's a bit icy. I think it might be the safest option is to abandon the waterfall idea for now and come back to it a little bit later on if the conditions improve. So what we're going to do, we're going to get out of this canyon, we're going to go find some snow-covered trees. Let's have a little bit of a walk around, handheld, snapping some trees, just see how they turn out. So let's get out of here, get somewhere a little bit safer. Hopefully the snow dies down a little bit and we may be able to get some more nice photographs. Alright, so the weather has really kind of taken a turn for the snowy. So what I've done, I walked back to the car because if you call back to the start of the video and I said I was parked on a bit of a field area, I was a little bit concerned about getting stranded out there. So I went back to the car and it was a traction control off, 3rd gear, low revs, very slowly pulling out job. It's maybe a good job I came back to the car when I did, otherwise the chances are I could have been stuck there for a wee while. So what I've done, we are now parked in the village of Gothland where there is some tarmac and it's reasonably safe around here. So I'm kind of in two minds as to not to go for a walk around Gothland and just take some handheld photographs, or move on to the Hall of Hokum. There's a car park up there and we'll maybe able to get on the bank and take some landscape photography from the edge of the bank. But man, was I not counting on it being this snowy, and it's still down to about -1. A bit of a turn. I wasn't expecting this at all. On top of that, when I was putting everything back into the bag, I managed to drop my Canon RP with my 16-35 lens out of the bag. It fell about a foot. Unfortunately, the lens cap was on and it landed on the L bracket for the camera, so no damage done. But like I was saying when I was down there, I really just wanted to get out. I'm gonna go for a bit of a drive, find a new spot, and I'll pick it up with you guys. Hopefully, the weather's gonna stop a little bit as well, so I'll catch you in just a little while. All right, so the snow has just calmed its tits down a little bit, and I'm hoping it's going to hold off long enough just for me to record this little piece of video. So on the drive out here, I've just been stopping and starting the car, jumping out, taking pictures out of the windscreens and all things like that, taking pictures of anything at the side of the road that I find interesting. And this little camera's been great for that. It's such a shame the weather took a turn earlier on, because I really was hoping to drive around some of the other waterfalls in this area and do some more long exposure photography, but the weather, landscape photography, you can't always predict it, and sometimes it's better to be safe than get some photographs. So this little camera has been great today. It shares the same sensor as its little brother, the EM-10 Mark II, which I have at home, only it has all the extra features, you know, such as the weather sealing, the swivel screen, some more customisable buttons, and some other little features in the software. I've absolutely fallen in love with this camera and the micro four thirds system as a whole. Now this camera is marketed as an as an enthusiast level camera, which puts it on level pegging with the Canon RP that this is being shot on right now. And in terms of feature set, this thing blows the Canon RP out of the water. And I think Canon may have lost a customer and a user because of that. The micro four thirds system, it's cheap, it's lightweight, it's easy to carry around, and it does everything that all of the other cameras do and more. I've never had a camera that is such a capable thing as this one. So I'm going to leave you with a little slideshow of all the pictures that I've taken on the drive out here, and I'm going to love you, and I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to say peace and goodbye.